from family and from people that you're close to and from people that you can relate with can be a bit frustrating. Migration is something that is done by choice, but when you go there, it's totally a different thing. Being in a place where it's now kind of home to you and you feel alone, you're just there, it can be kind of, I don't know how to say it, but I have a guest here today and we're just going to share. She's going to just share a journey with me and just let me know how it's been for her since she moved from Spain to Belgium, and she has been here now for 5 years. Hello.
Hi.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Gloria. I'm 23 years old and I come from Spain. I've been living in Belgium for about 5 years now, and I'm currently based in Mechelen.
Okay. So how has it been since you moved to Belgium? How has it been?
It's been a journey. I initially came here to study, so I came as a student. I did first one bachelor in social sciences, but then I eventually pivoted to computer science, and I am now currently here working with Blessing.
So how has it been for you? Have you had any struggles? Because just going into a new environment, into a new culture, migration, it's not something that's easy, and integrating can be really bit tough.
Yeah, definitely. Well, for me personally, I can say, because I grew up most of my life, well, basically my entire life with my parents. I've always been, with my mom, with my dad. They've always guided me. And then when I was 19, I moved out. It was quite difficult to adjust to the loneliness, because I am a big family person, and to not have my support system by my side there physically with me was a bit hard. But luckily for me, I met great people here in Belgium. I have amazing friends here now. So yeah, I think it's definitely way easier now than it was 4 years ago.
So talking about the loneliness, can you take us through that?
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, it's hard, because I feel for me, because I was in an environment where there were a lot of people similar to my age group. Mm-hmm. It was very crazy, because I felt we all had to pretend a lot to force friendships, in order to avoid loneliness. Mm-hmm. So until you found the people that you actually connected with, and the people that you actually liked and considered your friends, it was a rough patch. I think, I don't know, for me, I would say that because also I'm very introverted and I like my space,
mm-hmm.
Somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Even for me, it was already very, very lonely when I already appreciate my alone time. So yeah, definitely until getting to the point where you start to feel comfortable in the environment, you start to be more aware of everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a journey, and yeah.
And when you move out of your comfort zone, because mm-hmm. going to a new country, migrating to a new country, it's moving out of your comfort zone. When you move out of your comfort zone, it can be very overwhelming. You feel so grown, you feel so mature, because you have to do everything yourself.
Indeed.
In your comfort zone, you have to do things yourself. You have to figure out life yourself. But out of your comfort zone, you really feel it, because the people that really care about you are not around. Today we have technology. You can WhatsApp, but it's not the same coming home to meet your mom. Even though you like to be alone in your room, but you know that there's somebody downstairs. So,
exactly.
But just being alone can be overwhelming. Do you feel that?
100%. For me now, at least that I'm growing into adulthood,
mm-hmm.
I feel very conscious of the time passing,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes some days I'll just be sitting, and then I realize that I am an actual adult, a person contributing to society. I am working, I am paying bills, and I am not 17 anymore, even though in my head I still feel I am 17, which is, it's absolutely insane to now start doing all these things by myself, especially now, because taken with I've been working here for a while. Mm-hmm. I recently moved and got my own apartment. Mm-hmm. Before, when I was a student, there were so many things that I didn't even have to worry about or be bothered about. Mm-hmm. I have never had to pay bills individually, because that was my parents. Yeah, that was my parents doing. and having to figure all of that out by myself was very stressful. Very stressful.
And doing that, and you have to figure out life by yourself, far away from home.
Yeah.
So
in a system that is just completely different. Like, I wouldn't say that Spain is just that way different from Belgium, but like things are definitely, you know, like it's definitely not the same. So yeah, like it's just so confusing. Also, you know, like you have the language barrier if you don't speak the language. That is also like an additional stress to your life. But yeah, for me, luckily, like I'm very grateful that I have friends that help me navigate, you know, my life here and also assist me a lot. And that is like what helps me to get by.
Talking about the language, has it been difficult trying to learn, to just, because I know you don't really need it with the kind of job you do, but just to feel like you're part of the system. Has that been? It's
definitely hard. Like I would say that I have way more difficulty with Dutch because when I was living in Brussels, French, you know, it's not that far from Spanish, so I could defend myself, you know, here and there, especially like understanding when people were speaking to me, even if I could not reply back or communicate back, I could understand somewhat, you know, when someone came up to me and said something, I would not be entirely lost. But with Dutch is the whole opposite, like it's a complete different story. And yeah, I mean, for now, I still haven't determined to learn the language, you know, like put the effort or invest the time into it, but yeah.
Yeah, we live in Belgium and they have 2 major languages, I'll say 3, but I know a big part of Belgium speaks Spanish, Dutch, and the other part speaks French, and a tiny part speaks German. And Belgians, they are good with language. They speak all kind of European language. They speak Spanish, French, and when you move here, you really have to learn language. Like some people who live in the French part, that's what she was trying to say. People who live in the French part speak just French, and which is very close to Spanish. Because I remember when I went to Alicante and I was at the train station, I was trying to ask questions, and I saw the man was speaking French to me, and I didn't understand. But I just could use my hand to explain what I really wanted, and it helped me. And you know, being in a new environment, you really have to learn the language to feel like you're part of the people, and that can be really, because for some people they're not good with languages. It takes time for some people to learn. While for some people it's quite easy, and it's really hard. Sometimes you feel alone. Like if you feel alone, you just want to cry. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one.
You cry. You actually cry.
Because I used to, because you say it's a choice for you to move, but what you experience is not. I would not say it's. I don't know how to explain it, because I struggle myself. I really struggle, and I don't know. Do you have?
Yeah, for me, what I can say that actually helped me with that was kind of like intentionally meeting people that were Nigerians, because even though I was born and raised in Spain, like I grew up with like a large Nigerian community around me, and also that is what feels closer to home to me. So I kind of like went out of my way to actually meet Nigerians settled here in Belgium, and that's also what kind of like helped me to, you know, just cope with the loneliness and with the
Yes, yeah. I think if you're in a new environment and you find people who can relate to some certain things you can relate with, that kind of helps you to feel at home in that environment.
For sure.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
it's been a great conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.